Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. We have a question from our friend Kingpin. He's a big fan of the channel, and he wrote kind of a long comment, but a short question. He basically said, Ramsey, why don't you show us certificates and licenses and things like that so more people will believe you that you're a legitimate coach? And Kingpin, I love you, man, but I'm gonna educate you a little bit on certifications and licenses and belts and all that as it pertains to the sport of mixed martial arts. If anybody is offering you certifications, licenses, and belts in the sport of mixed martial arts, they are a charlatan. Those things do not exist. There is no belt system in MMA. There is no governing body of mixed martial arts that offers certifications or licenses, or anything of the kind. There are people who have been trying to do that for years so that they can make money off of you. Take, for example, the IBJJF, the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. It's a different sport, but I'm going to draw a parallel with what they have done and with what other greedy, enterprising middlemen are trying to do with the sport of mixed martial arts. So the IBJJF puts on lots of jiu-jitsu tournaments under a very specific rule set. And some people love it, some people hate it because of that rule set. But one thing they do is they charge money. And quite a bit of it. As much and as often as possible. So one such example. You have to pay to compete in the tournament, and that's fine as long as it's not an exorbitant amount. You have to pay to be registered as a black belt with the IBJJF, and I guess that's fine, so that you can have some kind of standard of well, this guy is an IBJJF certified black belt, so maybe he's legit. At least as far as the sport of IBJJF Jiu-Jitsu goes. But more recently, they passed another rule, which is you have to pay a fee to register with the IBJJF for all belt levels. And some of you coming from other sports like, say, WTF-style Taekwondo, World Taekwondo, might think, well, what's wrong with that? We do that in Taekwondo. We have to pay fees. You gotta pay this fee every year and that fee and whatever fee, because you've been trained in this narrative that in order for your martial art to be legit, you have to pay some dude you don't know money, so that you can keep teaching your students under the banner of whatever they call that martial art. And previously in the IBJJF, the logic was, well, we will have the black belts register so that we don't have any frauds, any fake black belts coming into these tournaments. But now the white belts have to do the same thing, because apparently they don't want any fake white belts in those tournaments either. Think that through for a minute. Think that through. Fake white belts. Oh, we don't want those guys competing. What if one of them actually wins? So, man. And some people might argue, well, they should have some kind of system of registration and whatever in mixed martial arts. Okay, mixed martial arts, depending on the country you're in, there are already a bunch of people trying to stand in your way as much as possible. So in the United States, for example, boxing commissions have largely appropriated the role of adjudicating what happens in the sport of mixed martial arts professionally. They already dictated the rules. Back in the year 2000, the New Jersey State Athletic Commission, a doctor, and a couple of other businessmen, and these are boxing commissioners, mind you, and a ring doctor for the sport of boxing. These are the guys who wrote the rules for the UFC. People who did not understand the sport of mixed martial arts wrote the rules for the UFC, which is why we see so many stupid things like no 12 to 6 elbows because that'll make people's heads explode or something. So you have to get a fighter's license, for example, to fight professionally in the United States, in every state that I know of where it's legal. In China, it's different. They don't have that same structure and that same organization. It's way different. In Singapore, they have a whole different structure. So if you go fight for 1FC or something like that, you gotta jump through their own special set of hoops in order to do that, right? But as far as getting certifications to be a coach or a teacher or whatever, I got a number of recommendations to do a scathing review of a certain YouTube channel where they teach self-defense. I'm not going to mention their name right now. Maybe I'll do it in the future, but I took a look at their stuff and I just thought, man, this is dizzying. Just to go over this would be an absolute headache, because it's a bunch of nonsense. Like, every little step of the way is just bad. It's like so bad, I can't even think of a way to do a funny review of it. You know, something to make you guys laugh, which is what I like to do when I do those MMA Fighters Try Women's Self-Defense videos. But this one just made me sad. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because on the front page of their channel, they have their introduction video where they say, for only $47 a month, you can become a certified instructor in our system. Forget learning how to actually fight or defend yourself. All you need to become a certified instructor in their system is to pay them $47 per month. Sounds legit, right? I don't give out belts. I don't give out certificates. I don't give out gold stars in my gym. I give out knowledge. I teach fighters how to win fights. That's always been good enough for me. That's always been good enough for the people who come into my gym. And I rue the day that any enterprising middleman will come to me and say, no, 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 no. You gotta pay me before you can do that, so that I can give you this piece of paper with the stamp of approval on it. No. Heck no. I am diametrically opposed to that ideology. No. No, thank you. The proof of the pudding, my friends, is in the eating. If you want to know if a coach is legitimate, take a look at him. And if you don't know what you're looking at, you're going to have to experience some trial and error first before you know. You can go to people you trust. You can ask them. But ultimately, it is you who are responsible for you. My goal as a coach is not to hold people's hands every step of the way and spoon feed them knowledge, what they should eat, what they should wear, how they should behave, every little choice they make. I get so many emails from well-intentioned people asking me, Ramsey, please tell me everything that I should do. I'm trying to decide between this gym and this gym and this gym. And guys, just go to the gyms. Trust your gut. Use a little bit of trial and error. Try those trial classes out. Experience them for yourself. Because I will not make that decision for you. That is diametrically opposed to my philosophy. That is diametrically opposed to my religious views. What are those religious views? Freedom to choose for yourself what you will do. The agency to govern your own system, to govern your own person, to govern your own will. That is my religion, my friends. And I suggest you make that your religion too. And when I say religion, I'm not just talking about going to church and reading scriptures. It's what you do with your life. That's what a religion is. I say this so many times, I'll say it again. I'll throw that one out there. It's what you do. It is the choices you make. And you are ultimately responsible for those choices that you make. So own them. I could show you some martial arts belts that I have. I could show you my Taekwondo black belt. I could show you my Jiu-Jitsu belt. I could show you my Shotokan karate belt. I could show you some capoeira cords that I've got. I could show you some... I actually do have some certifications in various fitness training things. I could show you my college diploma. But what for? You remember Nils? Some people think he might be Captain Krav Maga. I'm not really sure, actually, because, Captain Krav Maga has the sunglasses and Nils doesn't. But Nils, a good friend of mine from Germany, we were talking after training one day. And he said to me, because he went back to Germany to finish a certification for a black belt in a traditional jiu-jitsu style. And he'd been working on this for a very long time. It was a life goal of him to earn this black belt and get this certification. And he came back from Germany and he showed me these papers he had, and he said something along the lines of this. He said, "Getting the black belt did not make me feel stronger. Just like when I graduated from university, I did not feel smarter. Just like when I got married and I got that certificate, I did not feel more in love than I already was." How incredibly profound. Think that through for a moment. Thank you for watching. Now get out there and train.